Over the years, video games have become a part of the world culture and the billion-dollar industry. In 1952, A.S. Douglas created the first documented computer game, Noughts and Crosses, which was the original tic-tac-toe game. Engineer William Higginbotham was the first American to invent an interactive video game in 1958, Tennis for Two, which is a ping-pong game. In 1968, Ralph Baer invents his brown box, which is later son of Magnavox, creating the first video game console, the Odyssey, which contained 12 games. Baer became known as the father of video games. 4 years later, the company Atari creates an arcade game called Pong, which is vastly popular. The Atari Pong becomes a stepping stone for all arcade games.
So I guess I was maybe in 5th grade or something when one of my friends invited me over to his house, and he goes, "Look what I got." He had Pong, and so, you know, he showed me it, we played it, and it was fun. It didn't have any immediate impact in my life. What happened, though, of course, was once Pong, the first console game, showed up, everyone realized the popularity of it, so the computer industry began focusing on, hey, what about computers as entertainment? And that's really what started the whole revolution, I think. Existing companies like Atari, Commodore, and so on turned their attention on the consumer market for computers, and this inevitably led to things like the PET computer, which was Commodore's first computer.
'70s became the golden age of video games, where we see the creation of a multi-game console, the Atari 2600. In 1983, the video game industry collapses, but is resurrected 2 years later. In the mid-'80s, video games come back as the first video game animated character Pac-Man is created by Namco and Midway. Tetris is also developed in 1985, and in the 90s, handheld and mobile games come of age. In present day, game consoles revolutionize the gaming experience. Video games rival the motion picture industry in the US as well as Japan and Europe. Teens, young adults, and children of all ages spend their time, money, and energy playing video games.
It's me, Mario! Da 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 da. Boo 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 boo. From the 1970s through even the 1990s, video game playing was mostly seen as a subculture hobby activity and as a substitute for physical sports. Now, it's a thriving part of the American culture. Today, 72% of the population, young and old, play video games. Of those gamers, 50% are men and 43% are women. The average gamer is around 20 years old, but that age is steadily increasing because the people who played video games when they were young are now growing older. Thanks to the internet, online gaming greatly increased the size of the gaming culture, as well as up the usage of the computer. The internet allows gamers to play with other gamers from all across the globe, so they can form international relationships. One of the most important titles in online gaming is Quake, which was the first to allow gamers to form groups together, usually called clans or guilds. Now guilds are a commonplace or even mandatory in any online setting. $35?
Well, the Elder Scrolls is pretty good.
RPGs, Final Fantasy series, Call of Duty 4. It's about work. Fun.
I like Halo 2. It's good games. When you shoot the aliens, their guts and everything explode everywhere. They're all blue. It's great.
Get to play with other people, and it takes your mind away from things like homework, work. It's basically like a drug. Like coffee, it's addicting.
Video games.
History is very interesting. History allows you to use your imagination and go anywhere you want and be anyone you want to be.
Video games
is very fun. Without
video games,
I don't know what I do with my time.
There have been many video games that have captured video gamers' attention and affection, such as Pac-Man, Final Fantasy, Metal Gear, Tomb Raider, Grand Theft Auto, Pokemon, Guitar Hero, Mario games, and Legend of Zelda, labeled as the pop culture phenomenon.